What's up, family? What's good, my family, my peoples? It's your main man, Dr. Life. In the business of saving lives, I must be about my Father's business. You show me somebody else who in the business of saving lives. You show me somebody else. I came that you might have life and have it abundantly. You show me somebody else that's on that, and I'll show you hip hop. You show me these other niggas out here, that's a rapper. And we gonna forever, permanently end the lie and the facade of whack rap niggas claiming that they hip hop. That will never be done again. Never, ever, ever will they ever make the mistake. And this is really for the young people. This is really for the young people. Because there's these old 60, 70, 80-year-old European, German dudes who hate your very existence, who own every puppet that you claim you love in the rap industry. Old 70, 80, dang near 90. The individuals who own the people that you emulate are Donald Trump's age. And they really think that they could use their connections with business people over at Pepsi. And they think they could use their connections with their business people over at Doritos and at Nike and Adidas. And these 70, 80, and 90-year-old German white dudes, the same dudes who killed millions in the Holocaust, the same exact dudes, they think that they gonna come and dictate what is popular, what is fashion. And somehow our community, after being punched in the face, punched in the face, punched in the face, punched in the face, punched in the face for 400 years, punched in the face, punched in the face for 400 years by the same individuals punching, the same individuals stabbing them, the same individuals robbing them. Somehow the people in our community when they tell you that there's an organization that it's okay for you to go and stand and protest with, then our people going to jump up, we're going to run and we're going to protest that. We ended all that today. So this is the first day of our podcast. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show y'all some individuals who caused my wife and I and my family to get into the game of saving lives. Over in Las Vegas, they've got something called the whale. The big spenders, the high rollers that bet it all. Consistently, they come and they drop bread. And for those individuals, Las Vegas rolls out the red carpet. They fly private jets to pick them up. They send Rolls Royces when they get to the airport. They give them chicks. They give them food. They give them the best rooms. They give them the best treatment. And the only reason why our people died and these individuals who don't belong in our lives get to give the facade as if they run it all. Because nobody in our community prior to now has had the sense to put value and do the same exact thing when individuals go out of their way to invest in our community. We make them whales. When people go out of their community, out of their way to break cycles in the life of our people, our family, we stop, drop, and roll. We go serve. When our people go out of the way to show our people how to go from eating out of garbage cans, when our people from projects in Tampa, Florida, the projects in Tampa, Florida go from being a project dweller to an individual that has done, nobody has seen what my main man, Holton Bugs, has done in the direct sales industry. Nobody in the world. He made $100 million. He put his money on the table and he grinded with a business plan and a group of mentors and a group of partners, and he grinded. He put his money on the table. Somebody showed him an opportunity, and this man generated $100 million. Project dweller, Tampa, Florida, and then turned the $100 million that he generated in one business. And then he went and made investments with the $100 million and turned it into $200 million. Our people. And they want you to think your only option is to go out there and stand and protest. They want you to believe that, give us freedom or give us death. We ain't got no other option. We got to go lay down our life. Do y'all know all over the country, we got so many people. Multi-million is the only place in the world where you can be high school dropouts and not get handouts like Bill Gates, and not get handouts like Warren Buffett, and not get handouts like Mark Zuckerberg. It's the only place in the world where you can be project dwellers. You could be 4 and 5 generations poverty, and then go and compete with Warren Buffett in wealth. This is the only place in the world. You can't do it in India. They got a caste society. You can't do it in China. You got a caste society. You can't do it nowhere else. So we're going to show y'all. We're going to show y'all how we roll out the red carpet for our whales. Then we also going to show you how we're going to crush these liars. Them 70, 80, 90-year-olds don't control the narrative. We do. You know why? Because the children of the next generation, they ain't got no children. Bill Gates' little daughter, like 12 years old, running around here, 12 years old. And they think they going to control the narrative in our communities, in our hoods, paint our kids as what they want to paint them. Y'all can keep following them lies. I'm going to show y'all. All right? So this is the podcast. I'm going to put it in the form that y'all consume it in. I'm going to go right here into the belly of the fake rap industry. I'm going to expose every last one of these liars. I'm going to show them. I'm going to connect them. I'm going to connect individuals like Jay-Z to the 70, 80-year-old German. I'm going to connect every dollar that he makes to these 70, 80-year-old Germans that slaughtered people in Germany hate your guts, hate people of color's guts. I'm going to show you that the police officers slaughtering you are a part of, here it come, the rap police. You heard me? It ain't the hip hop police, it's the rap police. See, they know this younger generation, y'all too young to remember this type of stuff. So what I don't understand is the people in our generation, I don't get it. So for my millennials, I'm going to bring y'all up to speed. All right. Check it out.
We got Derek Parker, the hip hop cop in the building.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming through. So I want to get into.
What color is he? Huh? This is who Jay-Z is. This is who Puffy is. Y'all got to understand, Biggie Smalls lost his life. See, y'all, see? They killed Biggie Small because they couldn't control Biggie Small. This man, single-handedly, Tupac Shakur is dead because of this. Biggie Smalls is dead because of this. And I understand the young people wasn't there. I do not understand how people in our generation act like this does not exist. This is the reason why every single rapper goes to prison. It's a part of, if you want to come into this industry, this is a part of the game. This is a part of the narrative that they want to put when they sell the negativity. So they create rock don't have this. Rock and roll don't have this. Alternative, let rock and roll do more drugs. Rock and roll do more drugs than always have. Do way more drugs than, so you can't even tell me about the stop and frisk, about how they profile individuals. They want to tell you, oh, we follow you because you got potentially y'all running around here with weed on you or drugs on you. If that was the case, the number one people that they should be following on the face of the earth is the niggas in the rock industry. These European, if that was the case, all they got to do is go to Harvard and Yale and follow them yuppie upper class. All they got to go to is the Hamptons. You want to follow people who do drugs and deal drugs? If that was truly the case, then they would never be in our community. The people who do drugs are the European that have the disposable income to do insane amounts of drugs, and they do it. So once again, why on earth would they create a special task force when since the 60s, the Europeans were doing drugs openly? Woodstock was an open drug fest for dang near 20 years. And then we get a task force to crack down on drug use? Come on, y'all. Y'all been going with this narrative, never ever challenging it. And then our people is paying for it. And in the millennial generation who don't know how to connect the dots, it's the fault of the Generation X in between the baby boomers like Donald Trump, liars, and our kids. It's every last one of y'all fault who fall in that generation by supporting these liars who want to remain in power by controlling your babies. The narrative don't even add up. They the ones who's doing the drugs. In the 60s, all we was doing was going to church. And the reason we started protesting, because they didn't even want to give our people rights going to church. Our people going to church, organizing, joining fake civil rights movements, wasting their time. And they people out in San Francisco with the Beatles and all of these cocaine, acid, LSD popping, psychedelic mushroom eating. Come on, y'all. Drugs? For real? For real, they're going to paint a picture of thugs off of drugs when they've been doing drugs openly since the 60s? You got to do better than that. And they're going to create a task force.
Do your background story a little bit before you got to what you were known for in terms of being part of the quote-unquote hip-hop police.
Okay.
So you grew up in Brooklyn.
Grew up in Brooklyn, born and raised.
Mm-hmm. Then I guess you moved to Queens at one point.
Yes, I lived in Queens, Hollis, Queens.
And your dad was a cop.
Yes, he was a Marine and he was a cop, sanitation policeman.
Okay, what is the sanitation?
He was a Marine and he was a cop. So his dad took the oaths to serve those German old world crowns, the same ones that wanted to come to the new world and colonize. His dad was a Marine and a police. That's two oaths. The oaths that they serve go back hundreds of years. It's not an oath to serve you. They get knighted and initiated into a brotherhood that the oaths are attached to. That service has nothing to do with you. You are the guaranteed paycheck because of the narrative that they run, so they can guarantee that they can pay them $80,000 a year per officer as long as they keep the narrative up. As long as they keep the rap niggas spinning the narrative of drugs, they're always going to be able to pay $80,000, $90,000 a year for the army of individuals who've taken oaths to serve whatever interests those crowns and those brotherhoods have.
They do enforcement of I.T.B laws like littering, illegal dumping.
Fred Warlock, Jay-Z.
Let me show you the connection between the German old world Nazi slaughterers of people of color and the rap niggas that y'all love.
I'm at peace. So it appears as if our favorite Luciferian warlock, Jay-Z, is back in the news again. As we all know, he recently made news with the recent release of a music video with his wife, Beyonce. But in addition to that, Puma, which is a major sports apparel brand located in Germany, has decided to...
Located where? Where's Puma located? Puma's located in what? In Germany? Did you say Puma's headquarters is in Germany? Is that what you said?
Named Jay-Z, their creative consultant, in an attempt to bring their company back more into the mainstream in regards to its associations with the major sports here in America. So, of course, they're going to talk about it, and I'm going to chime in.
Collins ahead of this week's NBA draft on Thursday, which you can catch on ESPN. Puma is stealing headlines. The company announcing that rapper and business mogul Jay-Z will join Puma as their creative director. This, one of the several moves the company is doing to get back into the basketball world.
Hey, brothers, remember about 15 years ago when Jay-Z came out with that whack-ass sneaker with Reebok? And niggas was running out to get it just because his name was associated with it. Jay-Z is a puppet. He's just a top-level puppet. That's all he is. They try to put him in these allegedly prominent positions. They give him these flattering titles talking about creative consultant. All that is a fancy term for mascot. Remember when they tried to allege that he was part owner of the Brooklyn Nets, and then eventually it was revealed that he only owned about 0.001% of the team, and it was basically his job to sit at half court, or pardon me, with front court seats with his wife Beyonce, so that he could bring attention to the team and hopefully raise the value of the team. That's what they do with Jay-Z. They give him creative credit for things that he has nothing to do with. They just
listen. If y'all not out here telling the truth about these niggas, we don't want to hear you. If y'all not going to give these young people who life is on the line the truth, we ain't allowing it to go down no more. No more. My man done the research. And instead of the narrative that they constantly tell the people, this the truth. Jay-Z ain't run the clothing line. Dame Dash ran the clothing line at Rockefeller. Jay-Z ain't never run not one business since he ain't run Rockefeller Records. When they put him over the president of the record label, it crumbled. They got him out of there so quick. This cat don't know how to no bit. Listen, he put his name on the sneaker. Allen Iverson crushed him. On Reebok, he went over, dropped the Sean Carter's Allen Iverson sneaker. When Allen Iverson broke Jordan's ankles, Jay-Z's shoe ain't stand a chance. King of New York, where? Where? Here comes the biggest part, though.
wanted to act as some type of magnet for the so-called black man, to see him and say, oh, wow, Jay-Z's really doing it big. Let me buy this product so that I can, quote unquote, support a black man. I doubt that he's going to have much to do with anything creative with the Puma brand. His job is hopefully to attract a lot of high-profile athletic prospects who also happen to be black. That is Jay-Z's job.
Which include offering multi-year shoe deals to at least 6 projected first-round picks, such as DeAndre Ayton, the projected #1 pick in this year's draft, who signed a 4-year, multi-million-dollar footwear and apparel endorsement deal with the company. This comes after Marvin Bagley III signed a 5-year deal with Puma, valued in the $2 to $3 million range per year. The former Duke freshman is currently projected as the 5th best prospect in the 2018 NBA draft class by ESPN scouting analyst Jonathan Givony. Let's get you back to First Take.
And oh, by the way, before they start this conversation, how many of you brothers out there know that both Puma and Adidas were started by Nazis? Puma was started by a former Nazi by the name of Rudolf Dassler. And Adidas was started by his younger brother, who was named Adolf Dassler. That's where we get the term Adidas from. Adolf, the younger brother of Rudolf Dassler, had a pet named Adi. So when he formed his sneaker company, he took his first name abbreviation of Adi and then combined it with an abbreviation of his last name. Instead of Dassler, Das. So Adidas. But once again, yes, both Puma and Adidas are companies that were founded by Nazis. Isn't that interesting? And also, isn't it amazing that no one has dug up any of this information and publicized it, at least not to my knowledge, because I'd never heard of it until I recently stumbled upon it. And beyond that, one would think that if both of those multi-billion-dollar corporations / companies were founded by former Nazis, how come they have not been made privy to an inquisition by many of these more militant Jewish leagues, who are always looking to see whose files they can rifle through to see which companies were started by profiteering off of the so-called Holocaust?
All right, so all of your industries are run by the same lie. There are two words that make up the Nazi regime. First word is Nazi. And then they took in German and they put a separate word, Reich, R-E-I-C-H. Nazi, Reich. The Nazi rights are fake Nazarites. Reich means rites, rituals. Rituals equals sacrifice. Adolf Hitler slaughtered people of color. And they claim they slaughtered the Hebrews. What reason would they need to slaughter Hebrews 2,000 years after Christ? What purpose? What purpose is there? What purpose? Nazi right is Nazi right has always been an attack on people of color. When they did it in the Western Hemisphere, they made it appear like their target was European fair-skinned fake Hebrews. But they messed up. Because that was the third time they did the Holocaust. That's why Hitler's movement is called the Third Reich, the third ritual. The other two times that they slaughtered way more people than they slaughtered in Europe was in Africa both times. It's the Third Reich. It has always been. And for people of color in America to allow these Germans to come here and run the film industry, the music industry, radio, banking, and they're hiding under the fake label that they are the victims. The same Germans that are perpetuating slaughtering our people are hiding under a fake cloak, and your people do business with them. That's who the police are. You got the rat police. You saw a person of color created the rat police that took the life of Biggie Smalls, Tupac Shakur, and Puffin them kept getting money with these niggas. They've been embedded with police activity slaughtering our people since Louis Farrakhan and the police slaughtered Malcolm X. There was no police presence around the ballroom. Malcolm X died. There was no police. Listen, they had bombed his house. They bombed Malcolm X's house like 2 weeks before they killed him. Not one police was in the ballroom. The Nation of Islam and the FBI and the police all agreed after he came back from Mecca and he saw it's different over there than what they've been telling us about. And then the number one thing, he came back here and said, because Elijah Muhammad claims to be the prophet of Allah, he can't even go Yo, did y'all hear what I said? Malcolm X went to Mecca. And he went on the pilgrimage to Mecca. And he was saying, yo, they would never allow another person to say that they's the prophet of Allah over Muhammad. He said Elijah Muhammad. He said that. He came back and said, he said, that's only American. That thing. He said that's fake. That ain't Islam. They can't come worship. The moment that Elijah Muhammad step off that plane, talk about he the prophet of Allah, either you gonna say, yo, no, I'm not, or he gonna get dealt with. They say he got to go. And the police like, yeah, he do got to go. Get him out of there. They bombed his house. The bomb didn't kill him, so they come to the thing and they shoot him down. These black people. These black people taking the lives of our people. These black people. Young people, y'all better get this. Y'all better understand. Black Lives Matter is not with us. You're not with them. They the same as Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam. One having an agenda and wanting Malcolm X removed. It's the same like Vibe magazine and whoever else in the industry who wanted to have a East Coast and West Coast beat. Vibe magazine. And Suge Knight and Puff Daddy contributed to an East Coast, West Coast war. When Tupac and Biggie used to rhyme together. Tupac from Baltimore. He ain't from LA. He dropped his first album on the East Coast. He did the movie Juice. But because they wanted him to go out west, not to compete with Jay-Z, they artificially orchestrated Jay-Z to be in the position that he in. Biggie ain't here. Could they crown Jay-Z to be able to manipulate y'all if Biggie was here? Nah. Could they crown Jay-Z to manipulate y'all? Because Tupac was going at everybody in the industry. Tupac was at everybody's head. Jay-Z, Nas, Biggie. Tupac was at everybody's head. They was like, yo, he got to go. We're going to send him as far away from this fake king of New York as possible. Because Pac was not having it. Show y'all one more thing. Let me show y'all where the money at.
I'm loving this. It's major people.
It's a theme here.
We can't offer much during this time of crisis, but we can offer what we have. So from all of us...
It's a theme here. It's a theme here.
6ix9ine fans snitch on him and he's forced to relocate. Plus, for some reason, fans think he's signed to Rock Nation. Hey guys, Devontae for Hollywood Life with your 6ix9ine roundup because a lot has happened since his Instagram live rant. Let's do a quick recap. So as many of you know, Tekashi broke a big record on YouTube with his new music video and basically told Eminem's Kill Shot record to hold his Skittles. He's also gone #1 on iTunes and is projected to go #1 on Billboard. After dropping the video, he went live on Instagram and broke the record that Tory Lanez has just broke like a month ago. Poor guy. After his rant where he explains why he snitched, a lot of fans began to defend his actions. But of course, many other rappers weren't feeling this welcome home party that he was getting. Young Thug, Trippie Redd, Rich the Kid, Lil TJ, Snoop Dogg, and...
This nigga's a cop. This nigga's an FBI undercover plant. They planted him in a gang. They embedded him with a blood gang. He was a police the whole time. He takes the gang down, and all of them go and do time. He cuts a deal because he was a police agent. I'm just letting y'all know. And then what? Jay-Z won't sign it? What happened to snitches get stitches? But because Jay-Z is working with the police and the Germans and the Nazis, that is who the police are. And if y'all want to believe that these fake people like Jay-Z, like 6ix9ine, who are out there talking about they in Black Lives Matter, that are just as fake as him. If you want to see the ultimate fake, it's all over this industry. Their whole job is to put y'all in harm's way, but between the police and the culture and the images and the narratives that they have portrayed, and then make y'all feel, yo, we done had enough. But these executives have invested in these artists portraying these narratives and then sending cops to police the narratives that these executives have invested in. And then our children who not getting paid, but they caught up in the middle of this identity crisis. They see somebody dead and they make a correlation between, yo, that dude black, I'm black, yo, yeah, we do need to protest. Not when someone is controlling and manipulating this whole situation. If somebody is controlling and manipulating the whole situation, it's our job to sit back and get to the root and uproot the root that is killing us. And the police ain't even close to the root. You do not get well by treating a symptom. If you got something wrong with you and your head starts throbbing because you got a brain tumor and you just keep popping Tylenol to take away the headache, you're popping Tylenol to address a headache, but you're not addressing the brain tumor that if you address it early enough, you could do something about it. The root cause. You just dealing with the pain. And their medical system and their law enforcement system is identical. They teach you in their medical system, oh, just come and get our medicine and address the symptom. Because we're going to keep giving you a new pill and a new pill and a new pill, and a new pill. And then finally, we're going to put you in our hospice and we're going to make as much money off we can until on you until you die. That's their medical system. That's their law enforcement system. Now, who's the fool for going along with a plan that does not benefit you?
Shabardi's in now.
I'm going to prove to y'all that the whole rap industry is a bunch of European individuals who have an agenda. Listen, they've been doing this since the 1820s. Then it was called blackface minstrel. So they had Europeans put on blackface and get on stage and act out like they was buffoons, sing songs, dance, act like total maniacs, animals, and then The moment that they signed the Declaration of Emancipation Proclamation, and y'all can't, they have been doing that for 100 years. Then the moment y'all try to come off the plantations, then they made the first movie that they made, very first motion picture that they ever made. Birth of a Nation. Blackface to picture, and you know what the theme of the thing was? These bucks want to rape our women. So for 100 years, they've been programming the people, defining your image. These are Europeans that hate you. These are Europeans. This has always been their media, their entertainment, their Hollywood, their producers telling the story of you. And do you know what? After black people saw that there was money to be made, that the European was willing to pay them so they didn't have to put the black face on their face, they was willing to get paid to get on stage and act out the negative stereotypes that would lead to them slaughtering. They created the Ku Klux Klan off of Birth of a Nation. They used the Birth of a Nation and that narrative that these bucks, these animals want to rape our women to recruit people into an entity that didn't exist before then. How many of our people died because black people were willing to get paid to go on stage and perpetuate the narrative for 20, 40, 60, 80 years? How many of our ancestors died because of the same thing? This is the new minstrel era. These individuals, these organizations that are in lockstep with the individuals that are controlling your narrative negatively so that they can keep slaughtering you and bringing your population down. 21 Savage, rapper from Atlanta. His backstory, he claimed, he was raised up in a house. A single parent mom raised him in tough neighborhoods in Atlanta. He was gang banging, trapping, selling drugs. He did what he had to do. Then he started rapping. That's the nigga's story. Born and raised, I lived in Atlanta. Single parent mom, once again, single parent mother. Trapping, drug dealing. Hard times. I'm a thug. I became a rapper. He became one of the this is why we don't deal with none of them rap. That rap trash is garbage. Watch this clown. First of all, the nigga ain't grow up in Atlanta. He's British. His daddy a doctor. He got a daddy. Raised him all his life. His daddy a doctor. They from Britain. He come over here on a visa. They create a narrative for him. They create a gangster persona for him. Then when his visa runs out, they lock him up and send him back. Your visa gone, bro. You ain't from here. Police. Don't believe me?
Peace, everybody. Welcome back to All Viral Access Media. Please like, please share, please subscribe, and click that bell for more notifications, man. Now, look. Now, we got 21 Savage, right? I seen a video, and you know, it kind of painted the narrative. So that's why you got to be careful with titles. You know, you got to be careful with titles. And but anyway, let's get to it. Was 21 Savage being sarcastic about charging people to how to build their gangster image? You know what I mean? Or was there a message behind it? So first of all, let's get into the video. Let's listen to it.
I'm selling images too for IUS.
This before he gets deported. This before he's exposed of being a liar. So first, watch this, and then I'm gonna come back and hit you.
Viral rappers, who y'all want an image? I got gangster images for sale, man. You know, I'll take you through the whole process. You can go see my tattoo man Money. He'll attach your face up. You can put all type of killer looking shit on your face. You know, I got some goons who you can hang with. They'll sit in your video with guns and shit. Prices for gangster images are starting at. We'll start the price for images at about 90,000, not between 90 and 100. All of our clout services will be starting at 100K. So I'm gonna say about 100K. We'll shoot you a video, get your face tatted, get you some fake jewelry, fake watches, some fake goons and shit. You know, make it look good. And if you sign a deal based on our clout services, we need 50% of whatever you sign for, and 50% of everything. That's your merch, your tour money, your masters, your everything, just everything. We really want your soul. We'll just take your soul. Your soul comes with it too. So we want half your deal money, half of your master money, half of your publishing, half of your merch, half of your touring, and then we want 100% of your soul. And there's no bargaining. Once again, I repeat myself, no bargaining. All our clout services, there are solid and firm.
They so comfortable with it that they got these young people, my millennials. Listen, my people in my generation, they so comfortable that they control y'all, that the program is so embedded that they ain't even gotta hide no more. See, in the 90s, Russell Simmons had a group called the Grave Diggers. You could go look them up. Russell Simmons had a group called the Grave Diggers. And they was talking this crazy. They was like Ozzy Osbourne of rap. That's what the Grave Diggers was. They was on some black, dark, and they wanted to get into the rock realm where Ozzy Osbourne was doing their thing and they was making crazy bread over there. They like, yo, we could go over here and be the only MCs. After seeing what they did, bringing Aerosmith and partnering with Aerosmith with Run DMC and doing Rock This Way and doing a platinum album, the Grave Diggers are like, yo, we could go over there and be the only rappers, and then all of the bands are partnering with us, and we'll make. Russell Simmons like, nah. We wanna put y'all in our community. They was like, yo, our people ain't ready for that. These dudes in the 90s is like, spiritually, our community is not on the occult. And they did a video with the Grave Diggers in 2015. And then this is 20 years later. They like, nah, yo, we told them, yo, our people ain't ready for that. He's like, they ready now. They've been grooming our people on purpose with occult, satanic invasion, with rat police, with drugs, with individuals who are fake, that they just creating personas. 6ix9ine, they just created. He is the police, and they created a persona. And like 21 Savage said, yo, we'll pay the goons to stand in the video. They went and they targeted a group of gangs. And then when they got with this police officer, and he gave them bread, and they sold drugs and all that, then he allows his police to take down the gang with the money that he gave them, if that ain't entrapment, now the individuals that he targeted, they the ones in jail, and he out, and he got a #1 album out. They're just gauging that these young people don't have no standard. They are able to see, yo, we control them hook, line, and sinker now. Before it used to be a standard, it used to be a code. We don't deal with snitches at all. And if he could come out and don't even drop an album, and he do a song and he #1 in the charts, yo, they like, yo, we could do whatever we want to them. We could do whatever we want to them. And you better believe that police sat there with his knee on that man's neck for 9 minutes, knowing we could do whatever we want to them, and we could cause them to respond however. Every time we want them to respond the way that we want to, we have put a program in place. We have tested it and perfected it, and they are going to respond like this, and we are going to respond like this. That is called chess. That is called chess. When they give up a pawn in their game, they done gave up a police to get you out here protesting with their organization, Black Lives Matter, so that they could come and checkmate you. Send the militia. Let me show you where the ultimate checkmate is. Remember I told you we got people who are invested in our people. Let me show you what these whales look like, and then let me show you what you're missing out on. Why they got you distracted. Because they don't want you to be this. They do not want you to get with us Yes, what's up, man? My walking stick it's in the garage to the left by the mop. Man, you that far down? This is called a whale. Havilah Road whale. This is what the people in our generation are doing. This is what my team is doing. This is what we all can be doing. These are individuals who've been collectively coming together, training, reinvesting in others, sharing a blueprint for prosperity and success, tapping into prosperity and success, and then taking prosperity and success from a successful business and then launching multiple other streams of income for the teams that they've developed and nurtured and pulled together. And these individuals are straight from Brooklyn, Baltimore, other places in Maryland, the Bronx. These are our people who came from the same neighborhoods and everything, and are in the top upper 1% income. And the reason why they're there is because they all have a phenomenal, out of this world, supernatural investment in our people. And that's why they are where they are. This is why we call them whales. And I have dedicated myself to create this channel to show y'all the difference. To show y'all the difference in what they have trained our people to consume, trained our people to emulate and idolize, all while this is the real us. This is the real prosperity. These are our blueprints. These are regular, real, everyday people. And the thing that sets them apart from the rest is not just the fact that they could execute a business plan and a strategy. Every last one of these individuals that I will show you that I call a whale, they have made sure that when they got the blueprint, that they made sure hundreds of other individuals saw financial freedom and prosperity on their road to this financial freedom and prosperity. That is what, if we all demanded that if you're going to have any interaction with us in our community, this is the type of business person. This is the only type of business person we'll deal with in any way, shape, or form. The only way you do any business anywhere in our environment is if everyone in our environment prospers because of your prosperity off of us, with us, through us. I've been highlighting and collecting individuals with that, not just that mentality, but who put it into action, who live it. We done watched them over years, and listen, they just keep growing and growing and getting bigger and bigger. This individual is called Lisa Nicole Cloud. This is the whale for this segment. So just like my man Holton Bugs from the projects in Tampa, Florida, who grinded and grew a company into $100 billion, and then took the 100 million and invested it and doubled the 100 million. He and his wife sitting on 200 million. This is what Lisa took her millions out of the first business she invested in. And then Lisa invested in the Lisa Nicole Cloud collection. Now she goes all over the world. Paris, this LA Fashion Week. Now the Lisa Nicole Cloud collection. And this is exactly what, when you invest in our people, this is exactly what our incomes are designed to do. Multiple streams. That's what a whale is. Not a whale that throws away their money gambling. What I'm telling you is our people have gambled on our people and won. These people have invested and doubled down and gambled on our people, and now I'm coming to these whales and I'm showing them that during a time of crisis, when individuals are trying to take advantage and tell our people that they have no options, we come into these whales and we're going to show these whales the greatest financial transfer of wealth in Earth's history. We're going to ask them to bring their blueprints, their years of strategy, their years of investment. And we're going to ask them to lead the way. And once again, double down and show our people in this greatest transfer of wealth that billionaires and millionaires are trying to hide from you. You want to see it? Do you want to see the greatest transfer of wealth in history that Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos of Amazon, the banks, Chase Manhattan Bank, Jamie Dimon of Chase Manhattan Bank, the leader of Goldman Sachs Bank, all of them are on record lying, saying they would never invest. I would never put my money over there. People have been asking them for years about this transfer of wealth going on, and all of those individuals. Matter of fact, since we're talking about Jay-Z, since we talking about Jay-Z, and since the dude brought up Puma and his fake deal with the Brooklyn Nets, I'm going to go to basketball. I'm going to show you a billionaire owner of a team that they asked about the greatest transfer of wealth. And he's going to lie, say it's worthless. Then we got documents that he's one of the first NBA teams to ever create a platform to be able to cash in and collect money out of this transfer of wealth. But the number one, the biggest reason why we do what we do is because if he's lying in public, he ain't taking none of them black athletes that's on his team, who, if they get cut from the team tomorrow, statistics show 80% of them after 3 years going to be broke and bankrupt. He ain't taking not one of them people of color who he know the statistics like we know. If he's one of the first people in the space, if he cared about the people on his team, and if he cared about the people who are consuming and making him wealthy, NBA owner, he would care about the people who purchase his tickets, right? He would care about all the fans. He would want the fans to be able to tap into wealth if generational wealth is being tapped into, right? No. That's the difference between our whales and their fake baller. They rich people are fake ballers. That's what we call them. So,
You still recording?
mm-hmm.
Oh. Go. No. Oh. What? I don't think yet. No. This is good.
Mark Cuban, we know how you like investing in the Shark Tank, but outside of the tank, where do you think are some of the safest bets for your money right now?
Safe. I mean, you got to look at your own financial situation. If you need safe, just put the money in the bank. Just sleep well at night. There's really nothing wrong with that. But probably the best investment you can make is paying off your credit cards, paying off whatever debt you have. And the reason for that is whatever interest rate you have, it might be a student loan with a 7% interest rate. If you pay off that loan, you're making 7%. And so that's your immediate return, which is a lot safer than trying to pick a stock or trying to pick real estate or whatever it may be.
I guess the reason I use the word safe is
First of all, y'all got to understand, he is not, they're never including people of color. They're never including people of color. Because first of all, to talk about paying off student loan debt, when after 2008, 2009, student loan debt is the number one bubble in the nation. The students have amassed the same amount of debt that the housing bubble had in houses before that crisis. And between 2008 and 2009 and now, the number one people saddled with student loan debt, unfortunately, is low-income people of color. Why? Because the rich people, they don't take out loans. They pay cash. So he's already telling you, I could care less about what happens to the people who watch the Shark Tank. And listen, my market, my demographic is not low-income people of color. Just put your money in the bank. Mind you, he's investing in the greatest wealth transfer ever in history. And this is why she's asking. Because millions of people watch Shark Tank and see them as financial advisors, because they sit up in these big chairs and people come to them with businesses, and then they claim to invest in businesses and launch them. So because that show has been on for so long, people automatically see the individuals of Shark Tank as financial advisors. So they want to know what they think about blockchain technology and the digital currencies that are making people millions. And they just want an honest answer from people who they think are honestly in the business of helping people invest and grow wealth. That's why they're talking to them. So that's the question she's asking. People want you to help them as an advisor figure out how they can increase their wealth. They're not expecting that he's going to lie. Let's listen to the answer.
for my next question on gold, up 2.5% for the first quarter. I know in the past you've seen it as a speculative bet. How do you see it today?
I hate gold. Gold is a religion. There's some fundamental value to gold, but everything else, it's a collectible. I see gold and Bitcoin as being the same thing.
Well, hate is a strong word.
Okay.
So the miners too, all of gold, the whole gold spectrum.
Individually, as people, I've heard they're great people. But as an investment, okay, you're right. Hate is not strong enough. Hate with extreme prejudice as an investment.
Oh gosh. Okay, so Bitcoin and gold on the same level for you.
They're both collectibles.
Okay.
The value is based off of supply and demand. And the good news about Bitcoin is there's a finite supply that will ever be created. And the bad news about gold is they'll keep on mining more.
Well, Goldman Sachs says that we only have 20 years left of mineable gold.
Well, then in 20 years we could have another conversation.
So you don't see gold as money then?
No, I do not see it as an alternative to currency. No, not at all.
He doesn't see gold as gold has always been the currency of the. Listen, they want our people to be enslaved to a U.S. dollar. The U.S. dollar is the currency that did not exist. Gold and silver are in your body, people. The Creator said, "Come exchange with me gold tried in the fire." Because gold has always been the very first and will always be the last system of exchange, financial exchange. It has always been the currency of royals. Common people couldn't even carry it around. That's why the Creator gave a parable of the 1, 2, and 5 talents. of gold. He was saying, what I invested in y'all is a royal investment, and I expect a return on my royal investment. This is why I say this is to the death. This battle, this hip-hop battle with Jay and these fake entities is to the death. Because the king said, because he has invested in us a royal amount, he's expecting a royal return. And the price for failing, it's all or nothing. The one who buried it in the sand got cast out where there was weeping and gnashing of teeth. That is life or death, yo. You already done collected the deposit, homie. You don't have an option not to give me a return or not. You received the investment. It's life or death. It's not an option to get this challenge right or wrong, y'all. It's not an option to be fooled and deceived by Black Lives Matter, Jay-Z, and all of these other. It is not an option. Mark Cuban. They trying to prevent individuals who have the ability to set captives free when you get free financially. They want people to be in a system with this US dollar because all of their henchmen are the gatekeepers managing this system. And they do not want to lose that leverage and that control, that monopoly. So all while they getting in the game financially too, because they ain't stupid, they lying to the people to maintain artificial control. I'm going to play this last thing for you, and that's going to be the end of this segment. We've gone and done the research, and we found like I told you, we search out and we seek out whales who invest in our people and who make their wealth off of investing and giving access to our people to change their life financially. That is the only business people that we will allow in our environment, in our communities, in our world. We actively seek them out. We actively go and put ourselves next to them, figure out how we can serve them to improve what it is they do, and in return, our people get access to their blueprint. That's what we do. We go and serve, and they get full access to their blueprint, to our people. People who never, ever, ever would get access to billionaires, millionaires, now have access because we went and served. Now all our people got to do is change your perspective. That's it. This is another whale who is leading the way, giving my people access to the greatest transfer of wealth in Earth's history happening right now. And he is as pissed as I am that these billionaires are lying, and you should be pissed too. And you know what you should do? Instead of going out and wasting your time and potentially wasting your life standing with Black Lives Matter, what you should do is get to the root cause of why they're trying to distract you. Because they don't want you to tap into this wealth. The greatest thing you could do for George Floyd is go make your family whole financially. And then, if you want to break bread, you want to do something, make his family whole. Dry his sister's crying eyes. You want to do something? Let them know, like we letting them know, the family of Nipsey Hussle know, that the marathon still continues. Like we letting the little son of Nipsey Hussle know. Your father accomplished his goal. He said the king will rise. His son is the king. And it's our job to make sure when they lay our people down, we don't let it go by and not do nothing. But we're not going to go stand out in the street and do things that ain't going to bring that ain't going to put no food on Cross's table. They actively killed Nipsey Hussle, dead in the street like a dog. His little 12-year-old daughter standing out there on a block, holding a sign, talking about Black Lives Matter. What is that doing for that family? You know what? If we all tapped into this wealth, we would create cities where they can't come into our cities. If we all tapped into this wealth, we determine what happens in our cities and what doesn't. We determine in every aspect of life what happens and what doesn't. Currency determines that. Not no fake politicians. The fake politicians don't control nothing. The businesses that go in there and lobby and put them in office to write the laws so they can pay them so they write laws. Listen, money, currency determines everything. And they got y'all believing that politically you can protest and change something. It has never happened and never will happen. You will see a Neanderthal evolve into a human being first. You'll see a tadpole evolve. Because both concepts are fake. Both concepts can't ever happen. But you could become a whale.
You can see. You know it. I'm sure you've seen this graph of the stock market. Unfortunately, this is only the beginning of what's to come. And unfortunately, the COVID-19 virus is just getting started too. What are smart investors doing right now to minimize the damage and save their portfolios? US stocks are in a true mania right now, and they have only just begun to unwind. This is 1929, but with the pandemic added on. The coming depression will make the 1930s look like a Ferrari driving, cash throwing, champagne guzzling rap video in comparison. The fact is, the market isn't coming back anytime soon, and the virus isn't slowing down. We haven't begun to feel the true sting of the catastrophe that is unfolding before our eyes. Borders are closed, events are canceled, tourism is dead, and small businesses are collapsing like dominoes. This is the end of America as we know it. Most of us will go bankrupt. Grown families will be forced to move back in with their parents. The vast majority of the older Americans will be forced into hot dogs for dinner lifestyle against their will. But small minority of smart investors who make fast, intelligent choices will get filthy rich because they can see around the corner. The people who run this country saw around the corner. They saw this virus pandemic from a mile away. On October 18th, Bill Gates, along with the World Economic Forum, ran a high-level pandemic simulation at Johns Hopkins University in Baltimore to see how prepared we are as a country based on our current capabilities. They simulated, get this, a coronavirus. They called it Event 201. And the result? Despite their best efforts, they couldn't prevent the hypothetical coronavirus from killing 65 million people. This was less than 60 days before the first case of COVID-19 was reported in China.
Yo, y'all better listen up to me, man. The World Economic Forum, and Bill Gates at Johns Hopkins ran the coronavirus scenario, and it hit 65 million. They can only hit them numbers with the vaccine, yo. So they got a charade pandemic that they done watched, monitored, planned for, strategized for. They gonna make money off of it. Bill Gates owned the patent to the vaccine. Every vaccine that's shot, he get paid for. They buying it from him. Huh? How you get from 80,000 dead to 65 million? When all of y'all go down there and start getting that vaccine, then the stock market crashed on top of that. Then they come out in the streets and had a police officers put their knee on the back of the neck of somebody, which they know gonna cause a response from the people. And they all over here doing what he about to tell you they doing with their money. This what's really going on, yo. And then after they finish making the money, after they finish extracting all of the wealth out of it, then they're going to let y'all feel the Great Depression. Then they're going to let y'all feel the real effect. See, they pumping all of the fake stimulus, pumping all the fake stimulus into the economy. What happens the moment they stop doing all of the fake pumps? They're going to let you feel what they have really created. And when our people, if you think they rioting now, they know this, y'all. If they're rioting now and they haven't felt anything compared to what the people felt in 1929 when they went through the Great Depression, do you know what? Listen. If you are out there, if they controlling on with Black Lives Matter right now, they know. The moment they let the true economic hardship sink in and then let a police do something, they like, we got them. When everybody with an internet, everybody with a cell phone, everybody who know how to use Cash App, you could go right now. I got a system where you could go from where you are right now, broke, bankrupt, destitute, whatever, to be in one of our whales. The only thing is, you cannot have the same perspective that got our people in this situation. Our whales have a mentality that they do this with economic information. They do this with economic blueprints. They make other people whole around them. They don't do what Mark Cuban does. All we looking for is individuals from our community who we can strengthen financially so that I can know when my nieces and nephews in that community, they don't have to worry about police coming through there. Why? Because we done created 100 new millionaires in Trenton. We done created 100 new millionaires in Philly. We done created 500 new millionaires in Chicago. We determine what happens on the blocks where my loved ones live. And we about to go to multiple millions, hundreds of millions. This is what our whales do. Just like this, man, we have an ascension program, an academy that you could go step by step, get the information, how to open the account, how to send the money from the account to the other account, how to grow the account, we got individuals that you could just follow. It's called the Havilah League coin. We're going to beat them at their own game. The very people that they think they shutting out of the system, we're going to take the very people that they trying to target. And we're going to make y'all the greatest in this marketplace.
Coincidence? Very unlikely. And did you know that 219 prominent CEOs stepped down from their companies just this year alone, and it's only March? From Microsoft to Disney to Hulu to Victoria's Secret, Harley Davidson, IBM, T-Mobile, and MasterCard,
they knew
and hundreds more have all stepped down in a mass exodus from their corporations.
That also means a mass exodus from the stock market. They knew the stock market was about to crash, so 219 of them CEOs, multi-million, these CEOs get $20 million a year. Who gonna step down and walk away from that? They knew. And then they also know I could take my 20 million and put it over here in this market over here, and I could make 100 million off of 20.
They know what's going on. None of this is an accident. The coronavirus panic might be the initial trigger for this economic meltdown, but the roots of this coming crisis go far deeper. Things will get better, but not before it gets much worse. America's neck has just been sliced wide open, and the blood won't stop running until it's all drained out of our wallets. Unless you shift around your resources and diversify. I recommend you put a little bit of your money into commodities. Buy some gold and silver. You also need to be diversifying a small portion of your savings into alternative investments. Investments which have a high chance of not only saving your portfolio from being completely robbed, but getting legitimately wealthy at a time when everyone you know may be losing everything. Into $15,314.
He's showing you the returns that the people are making in this market. He took $50 and made $15,314 in 4 months. I just told a group of my family members on May the 4th to put their money in a specific cryptocurrency coin called Ether on May the 4th. And Bitcoin, and 5 other coins. And I saw the price then in May the 4th, and I checked it yesterday. And if everybody had to listen, the price went up from where it was to like 214. And then the $500 that my pops was going to put in, if he had to put $500 in and made a 4th, and if he had made the $500 and purchased $500 worth of coins, they would have made $21 return on each coin. So 21 times 500. If he had to purchase 500 coins, which he said he was going to, and it increased by $21. So for each coin, multiply 500 by 21. 500 by 21 is $10,500. This is what you're seeing. They got coins in there that's 8 cents a coin, 9 cents a coin, 12 cents a coin, 10 cents a coin, 20 cents a coin. They got some that's less than a penny a coin. And when you put $500, if you put $100 on a coin, that's less than a penny. And then that coin goes up $21 in value. If it goes from less than a penny to a whole dollar, you came up. If it go to $21 and you got 1,000 coins because you bought it at 2 cents, and it go to $21 and you got 1,000 of them, you do the math. This is what's happening. And they got our people out in the street. We trying to show as many of our people as possible to compete in this game.
In 4 months. $200 into $114,272 in 2 months. $500 into $333,430 in 5 months. $1,000 into $60,807 in 8 months. $2,000 into $46,792 in 12 months. If these returns seem impossible, I agree. That's exactly what I thought when I saw them too. But then I discovered something called a reserve split. And on May...
I'm going to tell y'all about that later. Y'all need to get into this class, yo, so I can get y'all this information, yo. Y'all need to get into this class.
Started when I made my first million at 19 years old. One night, I was up late at the office working on one of my businesses that I've since sold. I was browsing through Google, catching up on the news, when I saw it there at the bottom of the page. I couldn't believe my eyes. Why would the richest man in the world even think of doing this? What the hell did I just read? Why Amazon is buying up all of those cryptocurrency URLs and websites. The article went on to say Amazon recently purchased these domains: AmazonCryptocurrency.com, AmazonCryptocurrencies.com, and AmazonBitcoin.com. It weirded me out because Amazon Pay Vice President Patrick Gauthier made it crystal clear that Amazon doesn't want to enter speculative areas. Now, this seemed a little fishy, so I did some more research. I found out Amazon launched its own blockchain service. And blockchain, if you don't know, is the foundational framework of cryptocurrency. I found out they also developed Amazon